Hello everyone, I'm Gajani Vigneswaran, and on behalf of Research Group 21, I present to you our research topic, Injury Patterns and Nature of Road Traffic Accidents reported to the Accident Service Unit of Colombo South Teaching Hospital and its associated factors. Road traffic accidents, briefed as RTA, occurs when a vehicle collides with another vehicle, pedestrian, or any stationary object, such as a tree or a utility pole, and these collisions can cause death, injury, and damage to property. So what is the huge impact? With the increasing urbanization project around the world, the usage of vehicle has increased, significantly increasing the occurrence of RTA. And Sri Lanka is no exception, where it's showing the same pattern of increment in RTAs. Such changes not only affect the lives of citizens in the country, but also add economic burden to any given country. So why did we choose this particular research topic? Incidence of RTA is increasing worldwide at a death rate of 17.4 per 100,000, and in Sri Lanka it's 16.3 per 100,000, ranking 96th in the world. Apart from death, major injuries also cause significant morbidity. And in addition to that, the economic burden costing us 1 to 2% of the gross national product of our country. We cannot afford that. So we decided to analyze the patterns of RTA and its associated factors in a clinical aspect to find means of reducing this above huge impact, as road traffic accident is a completely preventable public health problem. Moving on to our objectives, our general objective was to describe the injury patterns and the nature of road traffic accidents reported to the ASU of Colombo South Teaching Hospital and its associated factors. And our specific objectives were to describe the injury patterns and its severity, to describe the associated factors for the severity of injuries, and to describe the type of accident, type of vehicle involved, and the affected party. Moving on to methodology, a descriptive cross-sectional study was conducted, and the study setting was conducted among the patients admitted to the ASU of the Colombo South Teaching Hospital, and the population consisted of all the patients admitted due to road traffic accidents in our study period. With regard to eligibility, patients seen by a judicial medical officer were included and readmissions were excluded. And the calculated sample size was 384, and despite the COVID condition, we still managed to fulfill it. A systematic sampling was carried out, and data extraction form was our study instrument, and a pilot study was conducted with 20 bedhead tickets taken from the record room of Colombo South Teaching Hospital prior to research proper. And the SPS software was used to analyze the data. A chi-square tests were performed to assess the significance, and a p-value less than 0.05 was taken significant. Ethical approval was obtained from both Colombo South Teaching Hospital and also University of Sri Jayawardhanapura. Moving on to results. The mean age of our study population was 40.21. Most of them were males, and most of them were residing in Colombo. With regard to nature of injuries, the most affected body part were lower limbs, followed by upper limbs. Laceration and fractures were the most common type of injuries in nearly equal amounts. With regard to severity, most of the road traffic accidents were resulted in minor injuries and only a few in major injuries. With regard to associated factors, most of the RTAs occurred during the night time on a weekday, and about 12.5% were under the influence of alcohol. Most of the injuries occurred because of collision of two vehicles. And as expected, the type of vehicle most commonly involved were motorcycles, 65.9%, and thereby the affected party being a driver or a rider. So, our findings show that the most common affected body part were lower limbs. Similar results were shown in Jipura and Prasad, concluding the vulnerability of extremities in RTAs. Our study also revealed the majority injuries were fractures and lacerations, similar to the study of Fernando et al., giving us bony fractures being the most commonest type of injury in RTA. We also found out that male sex is more prone to sustain RTAs, similar to Lakmal et al. 2020, giving us males being the most common gender prone to RTA. And also, among the considered geographical regions, Colombo is the most vulnerable area and the most populated and urbanized. Similar results in other studies, giving us urban areas being more vulnerable to RTAs. In our study, most of the RTAs occur during the nighttime. Similar results can be seen in Veeravardhana et al. And this gives us the need for safer roads and better illumination during the night, especially. In our study, motorcycles were the major type of vehicles involved. Peter Wardenberg 2013 also concludes that 65% of vehicles were motorcycles. Hence, tight rules and regulations should be made for motorcycles. Our study findings also show that collision of two vehicles were the most common type of accident, similar to other studies, giving us recklessness of the driver and the rider being the main cause for RTAs. We also found out that the most affected party were drivers and riders, similar to Jipur and Prasad 2012 study, giving us workshops, the need of workshops to be conducted by the government to educate the driver and the rider. We recommend the following. We recommend new rules and regulations, especially for the motorcycles. We recommend workshops to be conducted. We also need safer roads and better illumination. And in addition, if more studies like this can be conducted in other main hospitals, the overall research can be used in generalizing the nature and the pattern of RTS to the whole community, because road traffic accidents is a completely preventable public health problem. Thank you for joining with us.